Today I was faced with an excruciating decision. Turn over Roland, or face the wrath of my brother-in-law's army. It would be a difficult decision. To put my domain at risk to save my best friend, to turn in my prince to save my own sorry hide. Never in my life have I encountered such a surmounting choice before. Oh hey, you know we can always use a secret weapon to keep our invaders at bay, right? What? Secret weapon? Then it's decided. We surrender Roland to no one. The Aesfrosti shall get our blades between their ribs and thank us for the honor.
Dear Gustadolf, go pound sand. Love your brother-in-law to be, Serenoa. Love your brother-in-law to be, Serenoa. Right. Send a bird to General Avlora. It's on.
So, with our refusal to turn in Prince Roland came the inevitable retaliation from Aesfrost, not to mention a reverberation that rang throughout Norzelia. From House Fox,
may your shields be strong and your swords strike true, my countrymen. For Glenbrook!
To House Tellior.
What? They're gonna take on Aesfrost? Those fools! Don't they know that only by being a complete pussy that you'll live to another day?
And we even got an Aesfrosti defector into our ranks because of the effort. Do not worry, Stickman. I, Flanagan, shall protect weaklings like you from the likes of my Aesfrosti brethren. But even with the shadow of doom looming upon us, I wasn't worried, for House Wolffort had a secret weapon to defend it from... The secret weapon is pouring oil into the canals and lighting it on fire, burning our enemy from within. I changed my mind. Can we not use the secret weapon? This is the path you have chosen, is it not? No. Just no. Isn't there a way we can do this without burning our fucking city to the ground? Of course there is. It'll just be very, very difficult.
Well, whatever you do, make sure you let me take on Avlora. I owe her for what she did to my brother and my master.
Well said, Roland. For that, you get my badass seal of approval.
The battlefield is no place for children. You will see what true might is.
Avlora's here. Quickly, Benedict, what's the plan? Allow me, sir. First and foremost, we need to get into position. Anna, you and Huette will take out everyone from the rooftop so that Huette can rain death from above. Eridor and Flanagan, you'll be bottlenecking the soldiers on the stairway. Serenoa and Roland, you'll run assistance and sweep up anyone who tries to ambush us. We'll also need a couple of mages, a good healer, and don't forget my badass self.
Retreat! All companies, fall back at once!
For a top-notch strategy like that, Benedict gets a badass seal of approval. The resulting battle was like another reverberation that echoed throughout Norzelia. People spoke of our victory against Aesfrost in hushed tones.
I have spoken with the Hierophant on this rather interesting turn of events, and she has sent a reply to my ears and my ears alone. She says we should do something.
However, though we won the battle, the war was far from over, and battling Avlora the hard way left us rather drained. Fortunately, our help would come from a rather unexpected source. Silvio of House Tellior came with a proposal for us.
The three high houses must unite as one and strike Aesfrost with the might of 1,000 suns. Oh, and be sure to leave Roland at our place. He'll be totally safe there.
Silvio's plan was sound and true. With the three high houses united, Aesfrost wouldn't stand a chance against the might of Glenbrook, and House Tellior was closest to Whiteholm, making it an ideal spot to attack from. To think that it's all thanks to Silvio Tellior and his ingenious plan that we'd be able to... I'm sorry, I couldn't say that with a straight face. We flat out turned him down, of course.
What? Then we gotta reunite the three high houses. And Gustadolf will be mad at me if I don't bring Roland to my house. For his protection, of course.
That's not our problem, is it? Now get lost, little man.
But my house, Mr. Wolffort, don't form an alliance with Mr. Tellior. He's gonna betray you, sir.
Too late for that. We already turned him down.
That's a relief.
Say, how did you know he would betray us? Are you a spy?
I can see into the future.
Cool. If those future-seeing abilities of yours can be used in battle, you're welcome to join my army.
Thanks. Oh, and by the way, he's going to come back and ask you again.
And sure enough, Silvio did come back to ask again. This time he decided to use a more persuasive tactic.
I was hoping you'd reconsider my offer. Let Roland stay at my place, and I'll promise I'll nicely ask the Archduke to leave you alone.
I got 3 words for you, Silvio. Kiss my ass!
Well then, I guess I'll have my associate Rufus continue the negotiations. He's much more persuasive than me.
Rufus, smash!
It was a shame to have Silvio turn against me. After all, I'd be fighting against my own countrymen, men from my own land, who were also victims of the Archduke and his... They look just like Aesfrosti soldiers dressed in yellow. Works for me! Negotiations went rather smoothly for us. After all, we did have the high ground, and that Rufus fellow, he didn't have a leg to stand on after I was done with him. We just decimated your army, and there's no way in hell we're turning Roland over to the likes of you.
Damn it! Foiled again! You haven't seen the last of me, Wolffort!
Rufus, smash!
Oh, but that was nothing compared to what happened with House Fox.
Aesfrost demanded that His Highness be relinquished to their custody immediately. We have just received word that Wolffort refused. A most admirable display of loyalty to Glenbrook's royal family if ever I have seen one. And they are not the only ones who shall remain true. In the name of King Regna, House Fox too will take up arms against those Aesfrosti bastards! Your Majesty, I serve you even in death.
Disappointment rears its ugly head. Our victory proved to be rather bittersweet, because the true winner in this fight was none other than my brother-in-law-to-be, Gustadolf. With House Tellior and House Fox out of the picture, in the end it was House Wolffort who stood alone against the might of the Aesfrost army. We were alone, surrounded by enemies on all sides, and the more time passed, the more the walls would close in. There's only one thing we could do to get my nasty brother-in-law off my back. Roland, could you come with me for a second?
Sure, Benedict. Wait a minute. What are you doing? What in the world is that?
It is time for us to say goodnight, sweet prince. Roland needed to be taken out of the picture. Poor Roland's dead, poor Roland Glenbrook's dead. Our heir to Glenbrook throne is dead and gone. He didn't stand a chance, he was too big for his pants, and it looks like the Aesfrosti Duke has won. With Prince Roland dead and gone, we were finally able to get the Aesfrosti off our backs. It gave us a chance to breathe, to relax a bit, to give us the rest and recuperation we needed. We also gained a new addition to our team. Say hello to Maxwell Jr. Prince Roland summoned him to help us right before he left us for good. Maxwell Jr. hails from the Island of Knights, a place which lives inside your heart, or so he says. It also gave me the chance to talk with Frederica about our marriage, which no longer had a point considering Aesfrost now had conquered Glenbrook, But when it comes to love, sometimes there doesn't need to be a point. We had each other, and that is that. Besides, if there was an alliance to be forged between Glenbrook and Aesfrost, Gustave managed to pull it off with flying colors, even blowing my dad out of the water. Apparently, the best alliance would come from the marriage between Queen Cordelia and Archduke Gustave himself. But then, something amazing happened. Just as we were about to hit the lowest point, the pendulum decided to swing the other way. Hyzan finally decided to do something. In fact, I got a letter from one of the Saintly Seven.
Dear Serenoa, word of your exploits have reached my ears, and I am simply flabbergasted at how well you have fared against Aesfrost's mighty iron boot. And it kinda reminded me of how much you and I are alike. You run a high house filled with loyal soldiers, and I run a plantation filled with Pinkerton slaves that harvest salt for a living, and I mean that literally. So from one general to another, I have decided to provide you with some aid, some food, weapons, and even some cash at hand. But it is customary that when one man scratches another man's back, he too must follow suit. You see, I find myself with more salt than I have cash, and I would like to fix that. Tucked within this care package is a massive cargo of illegal salt. I would like you to take that cargo and ship it off to Aesfrost.
Do this, I say, do this, and I will guarantee the tides of war will turn in your favor. Love, Sorceley, and Minister of Salt.
Well, looks like we've got ourselves quite the conundrum on our hands. Benedict! Time to break out the scales of conviction!
Right away, my lord.